So I've been hearing a lot of chatter in the YouTube community especially about this new YouTube union going on that is supposed to really, I guess, combat a lot of the issues with YouTube and is supposed to kind of be the whole saving grace of the YouTube community. It has thousands of members already and is supposed to be addressing YouTube directly here in just a couple of days. They apparently put out a message here just a few weeks back telling YouTube that if they did not respond with open negotiations within a few weeks, that they would be using a couple of different methods to start actually trying to take action against YouTube starting in August. And, well, here we are. We're getting into August, so it's about that time where, that's supposed to start taking place. So I still have my worries about that, and that's kind of the whole point of this video. I'm still kind of thinking about this one. Will the YouTube union really work? Now, before we get started with this video, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of it, Amino. It's one of the fastest growing social medias in the world, but just take a look at what we got here, man. I mean, they got everything on this. I mean, look at this. Dog's invisible door prank. You want to look at some good jokes? Look at that. The dog doesn't even know what it is. Is this a force field? He doesn't know. The other one's just looking. He doesn't know. WTF? Let him through. Let's take a look at this one. Hey, this is some 3D trick art. Honestly, this kind of stuff perplexes me. I don't know how people pull this off. I wish I could draw this good. Take a look at that, though. The number 2, I can draw that. I can't go any further than this. This is already beyond my skills. Let's take a look a little bit further. I could never do anything like that. I'm assuming you couldn't either. What are you waiting for? Follow the instructions on screen after you've downloaded Amino by clicking the link below to follow my global profile and see all the exclusive content I'm posting over there. I just posted a new video today showing you guys how I make my videos. Get in on the sensation. Thank you to Amino for sponsoring this video. I'm still pretty optimistic on this one, no pun intended, with my channel name, of course, but, of course, I do understand some of the worries about this one. Now, of course, the whole point of a labor union is for the workers of a specific, company or whatever to basically collect together and unionize. And by doing so, they increase their power to negotiate through things like collective bargaining. So it really, I guess, increases their power as a whole when it comes to how they can negotiate contracts with the company, and it increases really their status. Because generally speaking, they're a lot more protected when it comes to, how the company treats them and stuff like that. But a YouTube union seems a little bit more far-fetched, at least in my opinion, because, YouTube obviously isn't like a factory job, which at least here in the United States is where, the traditional union job seems to be, at least in my experience. So this YouTube union has been picking up steam primarily due to the issues of things like demonetization, the whole censorship issues here on the platform, YouTube's real inability to kind of understand the community, run the platform at even a very generic level when it comes to just comprehending what they're doing. I mean, they have no idea what's going on. They have no idea how to run this platform. They have no idea what's, the best decision in 95% of, cases. It's kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but I don't expect anything better at this point. I feel like I've gotten to this threshold with YouTube where I expect the bare minimum when it comes to decisions. I've learned to expect the worst possible outcome in just about every single decision, and if they do something good, that's just about the best we can get. So now, one of the major questions that a lot of people have about this YouTube union, and one of the, I guess, critical flaws that a lot of people are trying to already point out in this YouTube union, is that it can't function because, well, hypothetically speaking, they can't really do anything against YouTube because what is a couple thousand signatures going to do to YouTube? YouTube is owned by Google, which is, one of the biggest corporations on Earth. There's not really much you can do against them because, I mean, they're not going to care about a couple thousand YouTube creators signing a petition to say, hey, do better by us or we're going to be really upset. But in reality, they're trying to actually build legal cases around it. Now, this YouTube union actually argues that they have a couple different legal cases, and one of them actually argues the point that YouTube has been actually classifying us as individual employees and companies unfairly and unjustifiably when we're actually technically employees of Google because Google has been enforcing their rules against us in a way that a traditional company would enforce their rules and policies against an employee. Now, I guess to put it into layman's terms, what they're trying to put against Google and one of the ways that they're going to try and go forward if, I guess, Google doesn't come forward and try to negotiate with this YouTube union is that here's the way it's set up here on YouTube, is that Google sees us as independent businesses pretty much I mean, when you fill out your tax documents, like 99% of people, we fill them out as individual businesses and stuff like that. I mean, you're not technically employed by Google, you're just seen as like an individual contractor basically, and they pay you using those tax documents and stuff like that through your country or whatever territory that you live in. With that being said, it's a technicality that Google and YouTube, I guess, also can use to kind of get around, because they don't get to claim you as an employee. Now, with that being said, they don't have to treat you the same as they would have to treat a normal employee, which is both a good and a bad thing for them. It's a good thing for them because they don't have to give you the same rights and benefits that they would give, a normal employee. They don't have to give you the same contract or anything that they would give a regular employee. But it's also a bad thing because, if this YouTube union actually does have a case here in court and they somehow win this case, YouTube will be owing lots and lots of money, and their whole business model will completely collapse. So basically, the YouTube union is trying to argue that Google is unjustifiably treating us as individual employees who aren't employees of Google when they're actually employees of Google, simply because of things like demonetization. They're trying to argue that the way that Google enforces their rules on YouTube with things like demonetization, their policies and guidelines that dictate what type of content that people can reasonably make and still be paid, things along those lines, they think reasonably justify us being Google employees. I don't necessarily know the laws beyond that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to make any comments about that. However, they do have a legal expert on staff who is trying to, I guess, make that case. So I guess we'll see how that one works out in court, because I don't really see YouTube just kind of bowing to these guys and making this whole thing work out. But basically what's going to happen is if YouTube wins this whole thing, I mean, that's one of their pretty big arguments that they have against YouTube gone, and that pretty much weakens the foundation of this whole YouTube union. That's a pretty critical blow, I would say, to the whole YouTube union, because that's one of their major, I guess, talking points and one of their big threatening points towards YouTube completely knocked out of the way. But if it works, then YouTube's in trouble, because they're going to owe a lot of money, because they're going to have to pay a lot of money in settlements and court fees and stuff like that due to all the money that they owe for all these individual, tax documents and whatnot, and for not, having everyone registered as employees and whatnot, because there's a lot of content creators making money on the platform. So the only problem I see with that is if they win that lawsuit and they get that moral win or whatever that they want, and they destroy YouTube. That's the only problem. And then the YouTube union, what point is it at that point, I think it's more or less just supposed to be a scare tactic, but I don't see YouTube being scared by it. They only have a couple days until, the negotiations are supposed to be delivered to this YouTube union before they're supposed to, go forward with this lawsuit or whatever, and I just don't see them caving in. I really don't. And I have a lot of faith in this YouTube union, I really do. I think that unionizing would be a good thing for YouTube as a platform, but in general, I don't think it's worth destroying the entire basis of this platform, I would rather have the website than to not have the website, because, there's not really a competitor at this point, and I just don't see our demands being met by YouTube anytime soon. I really don't. I feel like some better strategies could be came up with. I don't know. Maybe ones that wouldn't revolve around potentially, bankrupting YouTube as a platform, but at the same time, YouTube we're in a tricky position as a platform, and a lot of creators are in a really desperate spot right now, and we have to find a way to get out of this situation, because YouTube is getting to a place where it's almost insufferable. We're getting all these just anti-speech policies. You can't say anything negative about other creators anymore, or else, you're at risk. Everybody's getting demonetized left and right. The policies on YouTube are so ridiculous. They bow to the whims of the advertisers, even though they realistically have the power in the situation, and I do understand that we as creators do have a lot of grievances with YouTube. Trust me, I have plenty with YouTube. I really do. But I think that we as creators need to take a step back. We need to kind of refocus. And honestly, I think one of the best strategies that this YouTubers union could really do is to go to larger tech companies like Microsoft and Amazon and demand that they make a competitor to YouTube. In reality, nothing really scares the brakes out of somebody like competition, especially in a free market like this. YouTube is going to really be forced to start listening when you force them to compete with somebody else. When there's another big dog on the block competing, not only for their creators who are making them all their money, but for all their advertisers who are bringing in the money in the first place, and for all the viewers who are actually watching the ads that are making them the money, then all of a sudden, YouTube actually has to start listening. I think that's probably a better strategy than lawsuits that might actually destroy the platform, or in reality, might make YouTube a lot less likely to listen to us. And realistically, you know, at this point, Amazon and them, they haven't made any competitors, or as far as we know, they're not in the process of doing so, but I'm pretty sure if we got thousands of YouTube creators, you know, big and small together, as a union of YouTubers, and we said, hey, if you make a video streaming platform right now with, you know, none of these just stupid, intolerable platforms, just anti-speech rules, and you made somewhere where we could actually go and we could actually upload content where the whole platform doesn't have to be PG bullshit, I'm pretty sure a platform that could see the money there would actually go through with something. But I don't think making empty threats is going to get us anywhere. I think we as a platform need to do better when it comes to negotiating. You know, I understand the whole concept of the YouTubers Union, but I think we need a little bit better execution. So far as I understand, YouTube has not really done anything to, you know, address this union. So we'll see how it goes. I'll update you guys over time as it goes on. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here, follow me over on Twitter at @SubToptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below, lots of great things going on down there as well. Thank you to my channel members, your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, unionizing, and signing out.